Hi, today I just grabbed my laptop, so sorry if the video or the audio is not the best. It's just like a little test if I can record podcast slash videos on my computer. Today will be a pretty, maybe long video, I don't know. So if you want to listen to it just in podcasts, do it because probably that I will not edit that video at all. But what I wanted to talk about today is creativity because it's actually a subject I'm currently very interested into. So I wanted to talk about it. To give a little bit of context and background, I have always been a very creative kid when I was young. Like, all my professors and my parents and everybody was telling me that I was very creative. And in fact, yes, I really enjoyed drawing, writing, and stuff like that. um yeah, for example, I started writing a book when I was like 12, and it's still a book I have to finish writing. Like, it was a huge project and I still have it. So I have always been creative and stuff like that, but in the most recent years I have like totally forgotten that part of myself because I started to be more and more into a very masculine energy. I don't really like to talk about masculine and feminine energy in those terms because a lot of people confuse feminine and masculine energy with gender, and in fact it's absolutely not that. So probably I will call it yin and yang in that video. So yin is the feminine energy and yang is the masculine energy. And for those who are not familiar with those terms, uh, the yin and yang energies are compatible energies that are supposed to coexist together. So the yin energy is the receptive energy. It is the being energy. You just exist as a human. You create. Uh, it's all about intuition, creativity, being in general. While on the other hand, the yang, I don't know how to pronounce it. The yang energy is really the action energy. So it's really doing things, being in action, concretizing projects, being in a very doing energy. So the yin and yang energy are supposed to be in every human, and you're supposed to have a balance between those energies, because if you are in a very young energy you will have some problem, and if you are only in yin energy you will have some problem too. So the main goal is to have a balance. And when I was growing up, I realized I was very, very often in a yang energy and almost never in a yin energy. And I think it's something that is very linked to our society, because our society promotes a lot the yang energy but never promotes the yin energy. And so by growing up, I have been like very influenced by all that society of doing, entrepreneurship, action, achieving, success, everything like that. So I started to be always in that action energy, in that yang energy, without noticing that it started to be a problem actually. But I was feeling that something was not going well because I was in that yang energy, but it was not working. Like, I was lacking consistency. So every time I was doing something, creating new habits, having new goals for myself, every single month I was stopping all of that at some point, because at some point I was feeling that it was too much and I needed just to rest and to be less in that action energy. So I was just like giving up at some point and stopping to do that. And I was not understanding what was my problem. And after a moment, I realized that it was very linked to my cycle and to my periods and ovulation times. So, yes, especially as women, I think we really feel in our cycle when we need to be in a more yin energy and when we need to be in a yang energy. But even men really need those two energies, but in different ways. So I was feeling that I needed that yin energy more, but I was scared of not being productive, because when you are in a very yang energy, you always want to be productive, you want to achieve things, you want to have success. So when I starting when I started realizing that I was that I needed to put more yin into my life, I realized I was like very scared of losing productivity. But in fact, like, I was just losing productivity anyway, because when I was in a very young energy, I was giving up at some point because I didn't add that balance. So having that yin yang balance was actually the most productive and the most healthy thing I can do for myself, and that you can do too. So don't be scared of balancing those energies and putting more rest, putting more being into your life, because it will make you be more consistent. It will make you more productive at the end, but just more happy in general, and that's the main goal of life. So that's a good thing. Don't be scared of that. But to come back to the main subject, so creativity, when I realized I was very in that yang energy all the time, I was like, okay, how can I put more yin energy into my life? And what was obvious for me was to put more moments into my life dedicated to creativity, to creating in general. So that makes the link between my creativity personality when I was younger and the fact that I was lacking yin energy right now. So I decided to put more creativity into my day. At first, of course, I was thinking about it in a very young way. So the first thing I was thinking about was like, okay, I have to create one video per day, I have to do one drawing per day, I have to do that. I was really still focusing on the outcome, on the productivity aspects of it, even if it was supposed to be something creative and yin energy. I was still trying to put goals and to put productivity things into that moment. And I was like, no, actually, that's not what I need. So I was like, how can I be very in a yin energy in the way I create. And I came out with the idea of just having a moment in my day dedicated to creating, but without focusing on the outcome, but just focusing on I have that moment to create and I do whatever I want with that moment. So that's exactly what I did. So now I have 1 hour per day at least dedicated to just creating. Like in my day schedule, I have literally 1 hour block of creativity, and I force myself to not put goals into that moment, because I always have that old habit of trying to be productive even in that moment. So every time I create during that 1 hour, I have a lot of thoughts that came and are like, oh yes, we can do one video per day, we can do that. That's not the main thing. But why do I talk about it? Just to say that even if you try to do something new in a new way, probably that you will have some old patterns that will come into your way to try to change things. So for me, that was a little bit difficult, and it's still difficult to detach from that yang energy even during that 1 hour. But I think like I do it more and more. It's getting better by time, I think. So that's what I wanted to talk about, and to talk more about that 1 hour and concretely, like what do I do in a practical way. So as I said, I just have 1 hour dedicated to creating. So when that 1 hour is when it's the moment of that 1 hour, I just sit down and I try to really feel deep down what I really want to create at that moment, what I want to put out of myself, what I want to do. And in those moments, like, I really feel what I need to do, like what I really feel is right for me. So most of the time I do recording videos, as I do today. I do drawing a lot, I write a lot, I dance, and I tried singing. So that's also interesting to have that 1 hour, because actually it allows me to try new things. Like, for example, singing. It's something that I never tried and I was pretty scared of trying, but someday I was like, actually I really want to sing, so I just did, and that was like the best feeling in the world. Like, I have literally goosebumps talking about it. So that was like very interesting. I think I'm a little bit cold. Yeah, I take a scarf because I'm a little bit cold. But yeah, I think like just creating in a way that is very intuitive and in a way that is very listening to what you need at a particular time is really the best thing you can do. So yes, I really try to put myself in a position of just listening to myself and not trying to be logic and not trying to be rational in that moment, because I just want to connect myself to my intuition, to what I really feel is right for me in those moments. And what I realized by doing that is that actually what I need change every single day. Like I was thinking it can be pretty the same every single day, but actually no. Like I really feel the difference. Some days I just want to talk, like today. Some days I want to write. Like it really depends on the day. So that's pretty interesting for me to do that work. Um, so yeah, actually I'm just trying to create and do the things I really enjoy, and it's something that brings me so much joy, and actually it's something that is giving me my little sparkle again, like my little envy of just living in general. Because when I was in a very young energy and I was just trying to achieve things, in those periods when I was just trying to achieve things, most of the time in the morning, like I had troubles waking up. Not waking up, but I was like, I have no motivation of waking up because I was not seeing the point of waking up. I was feeling that it was only to achieve things and I was not really living. So I had no point of waking up, even if I know what I want in my life. Like I was not motivated every single morning because I was feeling that something was not balanced into my life. And since I added that moment of creativity every single morning, I'm so happy to just wake up and to do the my little creative things, because I start my day with that to be sure I have that moment in my day. And also because if it's at the end of the day, most of the time I skip it because I work more during the day, and at the end of the day you just don't have the time anymore, or I just don't feel that I have enough energy anymore to give things. Like I just want to rest at the end of the day. So having that creative moment in the morning is just perfect, and I realized that it really motivates me every single morning. And the reason for that is just that it brings me joy in my day-to-day life. Like it brings me joy, and I can't even explain in what way, because it's just like giving me a purpose for every single day. I don't know how to explain that. It just gives me good vibes every single day. It just gives me a moment of pure joy and pure like creativity and pure yin moments. And I think that it's just because I have that yin moment that my day is so much more balanced, that I feel that the day worth it. I feel that my day is not only doing, achieving, but I feel also that my day is about just living and being myself and doing the things I really enjoy doing. So it brings me so much joy. I really, really like it. Like, just look at me. I'm smiling when I talk about it, and I have goosebumps. So I really, really enjoy it. And the last thing I wanted to talk about is the fact that I think creativity is something that we lack, especially in our society, because as I said, we are really encouraged to be in a very young energy, to create, to achieve, and stuff like that. But also because we are in a very consumerism society, like capitalist society and the fact that we consume all the time. Oh, okay, my computer just turned off and I was like, okay, what's going on? But it's still recording, so we'll see. But yes, we are in a very consume way of seeing things. Like what we do in our society is just consuming everything, not only objects but also medias. Everything we just consume. So we are used of just putting things more and more into our life, but we are not used to create, to put things out there, to do the other way. Like we are used to put more into our life and consume again and again and again, and it's never going in the other way. So I think it's also something that is very important to create and to put things out there, because it's just like balancing. Like again, it's just a question of balancing. So creating will allow you to balance between consuming and creating, basically. That's the main thing. So yeah, creativity is very important, and we are all creatives. I also started to read The Artist Way. I don't remember the name of the author, but she's very famous. I think it's Julia Cameron, something like that. I'm not sure. But yeah, The Artist Way is a book I started reading, and I was feeling that it was like a lot for me, and I wanted to do it in my way, in my own way. So that's my little artist way practice. I do it for myself, but basically what I do is looks like what she advises to do in her book, because she advises to do morning pages, so just writing during the morning, like at least 3 pages, so putting things out there. And then that's actually what I do, like by creating every single morning. But it's even more, because I don't do only 3 pages. If I write a lot. If I record a lot. So actually I'm doing that. And last thing I wanted to say is that the reason I think I was trying to make those creative moments productive is, yeah, historically, it's not historically, but in the background, to explain even more why I was like in a very young energy even in those moments of creativity. It's because I know that I want to live of my passion. So I know that I want to make a job out of my passions. So I think it will be very linked to creating content. It will be linked to creativity in general, so writing and everything like that. So the fact that I know that my creativity has to become my job, it puts me even more in the position of me trying to be productive with my creativity, because it's a goal of mine of living from my creativity and my passions. So that's another reason why I was like even more trying to be productive in those moments of creativity. And it's another reason why I lost my passion for all the creative stuff, because I was just trying to be productive in my creative stuff. And when you try to be productive on when you try to be creative in creative moments, it just like cuts the passion at some point. So yes, I think it's another reason why I lost my habit of just creating. So, if I have to give you some advice for today for creating and stuff like that, because actually the whole video was about motivating you to start your creative journey, because it's really, I wanted to show you how much I'm currently enjoying it, and how much it can be helpful for all aspects of your life. So I was trying to motivate you. So if now you're in a position of realizing that you need to put more yin energy into your life, you need to put more creativity into your life, those are my little non-professional advices for putting more of that into your life. So the first thing I will say is probably to work on your limiting beliefs, if you have some. So I encourage you to just taking a notebook and write everything you think about creativity. That exercise, main goal is to notice if you have some limiting beliefs linked to creativity, because a lot of people have some. For example, one of mine was the fact that I was saying, for example, oh, I'm not drawing like beautifully, I don't have enough technique and stuff like that, so my drawings are not beautiful. You write every limiting beliefs you have, and after that you will start to change that mindset by putting positive affirmations to try to delete those limiting beliefs and change them in very positive ways. So that's the first thing. You have to work on your mindset. Another limiting beliefs I'm thinking about is, oh, I have to be productive in my creative activities. So an affirmation to try to delete that way of thinking can be, oh, I'm just in a very yin energy when I create, I'm present when I create, I just create for creating, for example. So that's the first thing. You have to work on your mindset. And the second thing I can advise to do is, of course, just having a moment every single day for creativity. I know it's hard because in a yang way of thinking, probably that you have already your schedule of every single day very full. I know that, but I can assure you that it will give you so much joy that it's worth it to have a moment every single day to just create. It doesn't have to be. Yes, I'm in Edinburgh and it's actually very loud. I don't know why. Okay, what I was saying. Yes, to have that moment in your day will be incredible. So I really encourage you to have that moment. But it doesn't have to be 1 hour per day. If you feel that it's too much, like just at the beginning, have 10 minutes at least. Like have 10 minutes, have 20 minutes, have 30 minutes of just creating. And I know you have that time because I know that my generation, we are so much addicted to TikTok and Instagram and everything. I know that you can just cut like at least 30 minutes of just dumb scrolling, and just put that time into a little creative moment that will feel your hurt instead of just wasting your time. So just take that time into your day, and it's very helpful if you take that time in the morning. The reason for that, as I said, is that if you put it at the end of the day, there's a lot of chance that you will just skip it, because at the end of the day you're probably already late because of other things you wanted to do during your day, and at the end of the day most of the time you don't have energy anymore to put into creativity. And because creativity is all about putting things out of you, it requires a little bit of energy, and at the end of the day you don't want to be in that energy, you just want to rest. So having that moment in the morning is very good. For me, I have that moment after my breakfast and preparing myself for the days. If you need to wake up like 30 minutes before just to have that little moment in your day, I think it's totally worth it. So yeah, those are my little advice. And yeah, the last one will be to try to stay in that mindset of just creating for creating, just in a yin energy. And I know it's hard, and I know that the whole patterns of just trying to be productive in those moments will probably come back, but it's something that is hard to fight but totally worth it. So yeah, that's my little non-professional advices for that. I hope it's helped you. It's the first time I actually do that type of video podcast talking. So I don't know if the result is good or not. Don't hesitate to tell me in the comments if it was helpful or if it was interesting, because that's the first time I do it. So yeah, that's all. What's else to do? Probably that I will do other videos in on those topics, or other videos, that type of videos but on other topics. So if you like it, don't hesitate to subscribe. And yeah, see you in the next video. Bye.